San Juan Hill.
Wow, 1882, that makes you pretty old.
Yes, I would be 139 years old today had I not died when I was 88.
Well, let's talk about all those years before you died. Tell me about your family growing up.
Well, I grew up in a very musical household. My father was an important opera singer, and my mother, she was an excellent pianist.
Sounds like something you really appreciate. I bet you listened to music from the day you were born.
Yes, but my first memory I have of music is from when I was 3 years old. We had gone to a fair in the Russian countryside, and I saw a gigantic bearded folk musician sitting on a tree stump. He was singing, he was clicking his tongue, and he was making loud armpit noises. I could not wait to get home and begin to making those noises myself. That's what I wanted.
How interesting. I've not heard any armpit noises in any of your music.
Well, no, my taste and skills evolved from there.
So thankful. So then you always wanted to be a musician, like your parents?
Well, yes, but my parents did not want me to be a musician. I loved playing the piano more than anything. But my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. So studying law was boring, and much to say, my grades, they weren't the best. But things worked out in the end. At school, I had a friend who introduced me to a great Russian composer who encouraged me to keep studying music. Now, when my father died, I quit studying law. And altogether, I focused on becoming a serious composer. I was a lot like Tchaikovsky. I was born in Russia in the late 1800s. I studied law, and I left it for music. But I wasn't as unhappy as he was.
Oh, I'm so thankful to hear that. Your music, it was pretty revolutionary for the time, right?
Actually, yes. I broke a lot of the rules that people had followed for a long time. I was able to suggest feelings with my music. Like an impressionist artist suggested their images without the clear, crisp lines. I was able to write music that went along perfectly with artistic performances and stories.
How old were you when you first composed, or when your first composition was performed?
Okay, well, I was 26 years old. My composition, called Fireworks, was performed in St. Petersburg, Russia. And it was my lucky break. There was a man in the audience who enjoyed it so much that he wanted to hire me as a composer for an exciting new ballet company. I turned into a composer star overnight.
But not everyone liked your music.
No. When I composed The Rite of Spring, I filled it with energy and powerful rhythms. It was very loud. And the audience, they did not like it. They weren't used to the unexpected new sounds or the explosive dancing. They didn't know whether to laugh at the ballet or get angry. Well, I was dealing with Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. And World War I, which started in 1914. My music, it represented chaos. My notes clashed, banged, and popped. I wanted everyone to feel the chaos that I felt.
So what did they do?
Well, they got angry. A riot broke out, actually. It upset me very much. You might have actually heard a little bit of the music, though. It's used in Disney's Fantasia movie during the part of the beginning of the world.
So you actually eventually ended up in Switzerland. You moved. So tell me about that.
Well, after World War I, the music industry, it was very rough. No one had enough money to make ballets. And my wife and I had some serious medical issues. So we moved with our 4 children to Switzerland to be by the best doctors. I had contracted typhoid from eating bad oysters.
Did you continue composing music while in Switzerland?
Well, yes, but I changed my style completely and did some really radical things. I even composed a ballet for a circus. But the dancers, they were not ballerinas. They were elephants.
And you also lived through World War II. What changes did World War II bring for you?
Well, the war broke out in 1939 when Hitler invaded Poland. apartment warning me